I'm going to tell you how to use my new Strobie 230. Oh yes, just came in. What's great about this Strobie 230 is that it has a built-in receiver inside the flash. And see that? It works with my tiny trigger receiver, and it's built in. And it's cool. So you got one less thing to carry around. Let me show you how to use it. Okay, to set it up, first of all, this transmitter goes on top of your camera, and there's these little 4 switches on the bottom here. So in order to sync it with my flash, these switches have to be all up or all on the bottom. All right, either all up and all on the bottom. Now, what's new about the transmitter too is it has an on and off switch. So if you put that switch all the way to the left, then it's off. Okay, so you can turn it off. So if the test button is accidentally depressed, you won't wear down the battery on it. So just flip that over either in the middle or all the way over to the left, and you will fire the flash. Okay. Now, another thing about this too is if you hold the test button down and you see, oh, did I turn it off? Okay. A red light, okay. Oh, I turned it off, sorry. Okay. If you see a red light there, a bright red light at the end, that means everything is fine. But if you see a dim light, a dim LED, that means you got to change the battery. And this is a CR2 battery. Okay, and it should last a few months for you. Okay, so and if things are not working, it's 99.9% of the time it's because the transmitter battery is weak. So make sure you have a few extra of those in your bag. Okay, so that's the transmitter. This goes on the camera. Okay, let's talk about the flash. Okay, in order to turn the wireless system on to activate the receiver in there, there's this button here, and there's this little icon. See that little light right there? It's the little wireless symbol. You got to turn that on. It's off now. And to turn it on, see that? That activates the wireless receiver inside the flash. So if you don't turn it on, then it's not going to communicate with the transmitter. So also, if you want to not use my flash without my system, you can do that. Let's say you want to hook this up to a Pocket Wizard because it has a PC sync right here, so you can use any other triggering system. So if you don't want to use my system, you can turn off the wireless by depressing that button right there. See that? And turning it off. All right. So let's go over the features. In manual mode, which most likely you're going to be in most of the time, it has a power control from 1/28 power all the way up to full power. Okay, so you got how many stops here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 stops to play with from 1/28 power all the way up to the full. And that's in manual mode, so that's how you adjust the power. Okay, now there's another mode in here. It's called S1. Now when you're in S1, it means slave 1. Okay, there's a sensor here. Okay, that tells you that the sensor's on. Okay, you're in slave mode. Okay, what happens is when this sensor in here sees another flash, this is gonna fire. Okay, so I don't know, for some reason you need it to go off, and let's say you're not using my system and you don't have another trigger, but you need this flash to go off, you can put it in slave mode and this flash will fire if it sees a flash. This sensor sees a line of sight. Okay, so it has to be a line of sight. Now, what's wrong with that is if Uncle Bob fires a flash and it sees that this is going to go off too, so just be mindful of that. Now there's a S1 and there's a S2. Okay, So if it's in S2, what happens is it's in slave mode, but there's a slight delay. Why is that? Well, if you're in TTL mode, what TTL does, it sends a pre-flash to measure and to calculate the settings, to calculate the exposure, and then it fires the real flash. So what S2 says, it realized that there's going to be a pre-flash, so it delays slightly, and it fires when the second flash fires. Okay? And so it waits. So that's what S2 is. It's waiting for the first flash and then fires on the second flash. I never use TTL mode, so I'm usually never in S2, but that's an option for you too. Now there's another cool feature that this flash has, and that's the LED mode. And when you turn the LED mode, you can control the brightness of the video light on the back here. See, I just turned it on, hitting the plus. And so it has a plus and minus for strength, okay? And so if you keep hitting the plus, it keeps getting brighter and brighter. Or if you hit the minus, you can dim it. Okay, so it's a nice little video light if you need it. Great for, let's say you want to shoot a ring shot and you need some off-camera light. You just pull off a flash, or if you got a couple of these, you know, you can kind of shine the light on your little details, and it should have some great light for you. Or if you need to focus in the dark, you can turn this LED on, or you know, even in ISO situations, you might use it just for a little fill flash for your portraits. Maybe one person usually, or maybe two if you got a couple flashes. Just an emergency video light. You know, I don't live on this thing, but it's just nice to have. And especially if you're focusing in the dark and you just need a little fill, or you want to pop this sucker on top of your camera and film video, and you just need a little pop in there. You can use this and control the brightness on what you want for your subject. See it? Here's a video light, right? Let's see if I can do this. Just according to what you want, just a little bit of fill, so that's perfect for video situations. Another thing that's cool about, let's say you're in manual mode again. Okay, so I'm in manual mode here. Let's say I'm in manual mode, I'm ready to do my off-camera flash, but it's really dark. What you can do is, let's say you have an assistant holding your flash, you can tell it to hit the LED plus button, and immediately the video light turns on, just to give you some focusing light. And then if you want to turn it off, you hit the LED minus button here, and it turns it off. So even if you're in manual mode and you just need it to go on, but you can't control the dimmer, you can just turn it on and off at that point. If you really need to control the dimmer, then you turn it to LED mode. You hit the mode button until it goes into the LED, and then you can do the up and down brightness on there. Great. Okay. Also, this has a little audio confirmation button too. So let's go back to manual, and let's say you're in full power. All right, I'll blast the flash, and then you hear a little beep. Okay, after a few seconds. Hear that beep? Okay, so that beep is when it's at full power again. Okay, so that's audio confirmation to tell you, you know, sometimes you got it in full and you're just ripping these shots, and if you don't let it reset, then you're not going to get the full power, but at least you can hear when you're at full power again. Okay, we've got one other feature I want to talk about, and I just added this lately at the end, and it's actually a Cto Gel built into the flash and a diffuser. So it'll diffuse the light some, but it'll also color it. And so if you just need some colored light in there, this is great for creating sunsets, you know, or you want to just color balance the room. There's a lot of warm light in the room, and you want to add a little bit of flash in there to keep all the light looking the same. Then this is a nice little handy Cto Gel right built into the flash, which will really come in handy for you. Okay, so we've got some great features with these. They're in. I can start shipping, so you can order I've got a special now. If you order 2 of these flashes, you get a free transmitter. So it's a really, for around $300, you got a wireless system with 2 flashes. Oh, this sucker goes up to 300 feet. So I've tested it at 100 feet, so I know it can go at least 100. But it's just like my other tiny triggers. It goes up to 300 feet, which is a great range for this little guy. All right, I think that's about it. If you have any questions, you can contact me at scott@scottrobertgallery.com, and I'll be happy to answer any questions, or if you have any issues with the flash, just let me know and I'll take care of you. All right, thanks.